You can do it! Yeah!
One of the things that I hear a lot from different children, that this Lego League is one of the reasons they come to school, and parents come and thank me a lot for having Lego League because this is what excites them about coming to school.
I heard about announcements and I thought, well, that sounds fun, and this year's theme is this. Well, I think I will do it because it sounds fun and I want to do it. And so I did it, and it actually was a very great experience.
Helping students learn and achieve comes in many shapes and forms. Social and emotional skills are common threads in all student learning. SEL ensures the best learning emerges through the context of supportive relationships that make learning challenging, engaging, and meaningful.
At first, they don't hardly know each other. They're just getting to know each other, and then by the end, they're all very cohesive. They become a team. They're friends because they're in different grade levels. It's not just 5th grade. It's not just 6th grade. It's 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And so they learn to get along not with just boys and girls, but with different age levels, and they help each other out. They mentor each other, and so they get closer.
When students come together, so does a successful project.
Remember, line it up, line it up.
Just one of these robotic tasks can take more than 30 unique programming steps. Every step and every detail is crucial to the success of the robot. When talking about students and their own success, the details are in the data.
Data is a starting point for a conversation. It gives us a common language amongst all the teachers so that we can see where kids are at and where we want them to be and start planning a roadmap of how to get them there.
Educators are using that data to make informed decisions. By providing intentional and explicit instruction, students are building a foundation of essential skills. And once students can demonstrate they have that foundation, the sky is the limit.
As we've implemented RTI, we have had a huge shift to looking at data. We have looked at universal screening data 3 times a year, and there's more conversation around not just observations and opinions of how kids are doing, but validating that with how they're doing on performance measures.
With the framework centered on data-based decision-making and using data to drive conversations and shape their schools, one set of educators is even converting a classroom into a data room that they call their think tank.
If we don't know where their data is and what it says, we don't know where they're going. We don't just presume by looking at a student. We really need to know them at a deeper level and then meet their needs.
Data supports academics, as well as understanding how to support the needs of our students.
The teachers get together and they say, they're able to see where kids are, and then that starts the conversation of who is right on track, who needs some extra support, and who needs more acceleration. And then from there, we can look at other pieces of data. So it's not just about the numbers in the assessments, it's also about the observations, it's about the classwork, it's about attendance, it's about the behavioral information. And when we put all that together, it paints a picture of what's going on with a child, and it allows us to better match instruction to the kids' needs so that they can be successful and they can achieve those grade level expectations and goals.
Student growth is so much more than one moment in time. It's continuous. That's why it's important to use multiple data points to determine student progress. There are expectations for students at every grade level and every ability level, including students who are excelling.
We want them to get the credit and pass the test and succeed. There's a huge carrot. They don't have to pay for a college class, So what we do in that class is much easier to measure their growth because I give them practice tests, day 1 to day where we are right now. And if we're not seeing growth, it's time to do something different. If I give an assignment and I feel like I gave it my best and they did too and they didn't get it, we reteach it. So we'll go back to the drawing board and say, okay, how can we reteach this? Because there's so many different ways to learn.
These are some of the best frogs we've ever got.
It's up to the educator to take a student assessment, the data from a piece of paper, and translate that into a learning experience.
It's also part of our job to make that interesting, which is the challenge of the teacher.
Student proficiency is not just about an assessment or a test. Educators must ensure that students have what they need to take charge of their learning, that students have that technical and problem-solving skills, perseverance, and a desire to make that happen. And sometimes making that happen requires a little creativity.
We were having a pretty long drawn out reading of chapter 13 in the book, and I had different kids reading different lines, and you know, they were kind of there, but they weren't jazzed. And when it all wrapped up, I said, okay, now write a tweet from one of the characters, and they got totally vibrant and activated, and that's when they're taking the synthesis of the knowledge and making it their own, and that's when usually the sparks go off. I think when they own it is when it starts to really energize them. They're like, I get it. I see why this matters.
When adjustments are made and students at any age can connect to what they're learning, it shows.
The scores just keep going up and up. So that's just complete reward. It's amazing what we're doing. We do some dancing, you know, like, yeah, sometimes there's some celebrating. So-and-so finally knows all her letters and sounds, woohoo!
When it comes to student successes,
I think a little bit smarter.
achieving one goal can lead to another.
You see success in one area of your life, you tends to result in success in all sorts of other areas in your life. It's one of those wonderful relationships where each benefits from the existence of the other.
Yay!